So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. In this quick video, I would like to discuss with you the topic of managing and overcoming your anxiety as a man. Because on the way up, you're definitely going to have and already having, if you're watching this video, some tough weeks, days, months, hours, whatever. And as I said, if you clicked on this video, then you're most likely having this issue right now, so welcome. So before we start, let me just quickly tell you my story. So yesterday, it was the first day of school, of studying after the Christmas holidays. And as you can probably say, I wasn't really that excited, but that's not the point. So my plan was that after school, I was gonna go to the city center, get myself a haircut, spend some money, buy the things that I need because luckily I received some money that day. Everything seemed great and like what could possibly go wrong, right? But it's just like it's such a stupid situation, but it pissed me off. You're probably gonna relate to this. So I'm going out of my house and going to bus stop, and as I'm waiting for the bus, I look at the mobile app and it says like 2 minutes, and I'm sitting there like okay, chilling. I'm gonna go and do everything right, listening to music, and then in 5 minutes there is no bus. I'm like okay, fine. Probably that's because of the weather, because it's quite a lot of snow here. I'm like okay, it's probably gonna come like in 1-2 minutes. In 10 minutes, still no bus. I'm sitting there for 15 minutes, for 20 minutes, for 30 minutes. No single bus. There were supposed to be like three or two. There's no single bus. I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, I'm just going to stand there for 5 more minutes. If there's going to be no bus, I'm just going to walk to another bus stop and take another bus. As you could guess, there was no bus and I had to walk. Keep in mind that it's minus 15 degrees Celsius and it's cold as shit. And so I walked. I got another bus, I got to the city center, already pissed off, but that's only half. I looked up Google Maps to make sure that everything is okay and I have the time to make it to the barbershop. It said that it's closing at 7 a.m. 7 p.m. Sorry. I'm like, okay, fine. It was like, I don't know, 5:40 maybe. I decided to just first go to the shopping mall and get myself some stuff that I need. It took like 15 minutes or so. I took the things. I decided to go to the barber shop. I'm going there confidently. My mood is getting a little bit better. I'm not that cold anymore. I'm getting there and it's closed. It's not even 6 p.m. It's closed. It got me probably like to level 3 or 5 of pissed off, right? Because that's not the end of the story. Then I looked up on Google Maps to see if there are some other barber shops. I found one and I saw that it's closing at 8 p.m. So I had like more than 2 hours, right? And I said to myself, okay, cool. Like I know that this barber shop is okay. It's a little bit more expensive, but that's fine. I'm willing to spend the money to get a haircut because I didn't get it for ages. First, I just decided to go to a cafe, work for a little bit, and eat. Like I don't know, it took me like 30 minutes because I was really hungry. I went to barber shop specifically to not be late, specifically to come there at the time, and I come there and I'm about to pay for my haircut because there's like a system where they have an iPad and you like choose what you want to get, like haircut, right? You just pick and you pay there. And as I was about to pay, a woman comes up to me and says, "We're closing." I'm like, "What the fuck?" Like it's obviously I didn't say that, right? But I said like, I was like, "Why?" It's like 50 or 45 minutes left. She didn't really tell me anything. She's like, I'm closing. I have this one guy. I'm going to finish his haircut and we're closing. I'm sorry. And she was the only one who was working there at the time. And I was like, fuck. I was quite upset at the time. And I was like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to argue with like some random people. Like, it's just not worth it, right? I think you understand what I'm talking about. Then I'm going out of there and walking to another barber shop. I'm like looking around the city, right? There was another one that was supposed to close at 8 p.m. I realized that this one is closed as well. And at that point, I just exploded. I was so angry. I just literally wanted to punch everyone I see. It's like if somebody tried to steal something from me or just start bullshitting on me, I would just drop that guy within 2 seconds. I was so fucking angry. I just had so much adrenaline inside of me at that moment that I don't know, man. It's just probably the angriest I've been in the last 3 months for sure. I realized that I wasted like 3.5 hours of my time, didn't get a haircut. Like, I don't know how to explain the importance of it, but I was planning it for days and I didn't get it for ages. You can see in my previous video, I look like a fucking mess. Like, right, I got the haircut right now, but it's like I got it today. And so after that, I came back home, really aggressive. It didn't last for like 2 hours. So I don't know, this adrenaline was pumping there for another few hours and I was just really not communicatable, if that's even a word. So if you touched me, it would end really badly. So I just decided to isolate myself for a little bit and think about it. Just do some self-reflection and see what is it that's happening inside of me. And so in this video, I'm going to go over the things that I've learned. I promise that it won't take much of your time, but if you actually try to apply all of those things, it might actually potentially even save your relationships with people that you care about because you know that when you're really aggressive And if you're especially not really that good at controlling your impulses, which many people aren't, it might end really badly because you might just simply say the wrong thing to the wrong person. So there are a lot of negatives of you not controlling the anger, right? And you probably know about it. Otherwise, you probably wouldn't be watching this video. So when you're angry, it's important to understand that the reality basically splits into two. So basically, you start to live not in the real world, but in the world that you see through the literally through the glasses when you're angry. When you're angry, you tend to see everything, like everything is more appealing to you, right? Everything pisses you off. Like why the fuck is this bottle standing there, right? Why is this person looking at me this way? Why does somebody talk in a video in a certain way? Like everything just pisses you off, right? If you manage to notice a little small thing that is wrong, it has the chance to piss you off and make you explode. And when you're in this state, it's really important to recognize the fact that you're angry and the fact that you are basically not you, because you don't fully control what your brain can come up with and what is the thing that can trigger you, right? You can control yourself and you have to, but I'm talking that you cannot really control what is going to be the thing that's going to trigger you or make you explode or whatever. So I want you to answer this question: how much do you think your emotions, and especially emotion of anger, influences your behavior? How much power does it have over you when you're in this state? Of course, it depends on how angry you are, what kind of thing has happened and everything, but generally, like on average, how much do you think your anger influences your behavior? Just be honest with yourself, like brutally honest. If you were angry right now, or remember the last time you were angry, how did you act with people that you care about? Were you aggressive to them? Did you talk in some particular way? Did you tell them that like I'm pissed off, I just don't want to talk right now? Or did you go and try to release your stress on your loved ones and just screaming at them and just like doing unnecessary things, right? So try to answer this question. Maybe just take a piece of paper and a pen and try to write it down. Trust me, it's like if you just write it down, you're going to realize a lot of the things, because this is like literally the magic of writing things down. Because earlier when I was a little bit younger, like I don't know, 15, 16 years old, I used to do all of that. I would just be angry at everyone, even at people that weren't even like nearly the part of what has happened, but I was literally mad at everyone. Like I was so angry that anything could trigger me, and I didn't even try to control it that much, right? Because when I'm pissed off, I'm pissed off. I don't give a fuck about anything. It was like sort of the vibe, just it's better for you to not touch me, which is obviously not the best thing. But yesterday I really started to think about it in a more of a deeper way, because like being impulsive has done me a lot of the crap in my life, honestly. I mean, impulsive in terms of my anger. I wasn't like beating people or anything, but I mean, when I'm angry, my disadvantage is that, or probably like not a disadvantage, just the thing about me is that when I'm angry, I tend to do a lot of stupid decisions. I might suddenly try and change my direction wherever I'm going. I might suddenly just start replanning everything that I'm doing. I might suddenly take some emotional decision that I'm going to regret. I think that you know what I'm talking about. You understand the concept. I'm not the kind of person who would like scream at the people that I love that much. Really at the big scale as some people do when they have a lot of anger inside of them and they just carry it around for fucking years and just play it out in their loved ones. I'm the kind of person who is more angry on the internal side. I try my best to just tell people that are around me, at least right now, that it's better to not touch me. Just give me a little bit of time. I'm going to be okay. I'm going to come back to everything is going to be fine. But I just need some time to be alone, right? And so obviously I don't like the way that anger controls my decisions sometimes. And yesterday I started to think about it deeply enough, and the thing that I realized is this: when you're angry, and it doesn't matter whatever you do, what is the consequence of your anger, whether you're making some emotional decisions, whether you're screaming at people, whether you're, I don't know, just doing all sorts of bad things. When you're angry, just shut the fuck up. Just shut up. Don't talk to anyone if you can. Go isolate yourself, close up in a room, or go to the gym, whatever. Just be alone for a little bit. Just you don't need to express that anger on anyone, and that's intuitive, right? You probably are willing to be alone when you're angry, but I'm talking alone, like literally with no one in the room for like hour or two. Sit down, journal, perhaps meditate, I don't know, just watch some videos like this one and really reflect on the thing that like what has pissed me off. Like you write it down, if you have a particular problem, right? You write it down, you like map out all of the possible solutions, maybe just have a discussion with yourself about the problem. Or if there's no particular problem, you're just mad, just have a discussion with yourself about why it is that what is happening inside of you. Why do you feel this way? Just sit and fucking journal. Don't talk to anyone. This is the rule of thumb that you need to remember. When you're angry, is going to be the best for you, for them, for the universe. Just shut the fuck up, go reflect and study what is it that's inside of you and what is it that you have to do to make sure to not let your anger get over you next time and this time right now. Do not make any decisions. That's another thing. Don't try to change your direction. Don't try to, if you're, I don't know, buying something and the markets are going down, don't do anything when you're angry. If you have not thought through the problem deeply enough and you're just making those decisions because you're angry, just don't do them. When you're angry, just, I don't know, fucking turn off the internet inside of your house. Just throw away your phone to another room and just don't touch it for like 2 hours. Just try your best to not make any decisions if you don't have to. And most of the time you don't have to. You can control at least the fact that you are forbidding yourself of certain things. And those things I advise to be first decision making, and secondly, you should not talk to anyone, as I said. It seems so easy, and yet 99% of people watching, and I admit that myself as well, I don't always follow that rule. And even though I came up with it like mostly just yesterday, but I always knew it, right? But yesterday I just really thought about it deeply and I journaled and I wrote a little bit of like bullet points for this video, right? So I had it inside of my mind and I worked through it yesterday. But I always knew it, and you always knew it, and you never really applied it, I'm sure. And I have very rarely applied it. And as we all know, the truth that like everything is hiding in the basics. And if you just manage to stick to those basics as those two main things that I've listed in this video, you'll be so much better off. Like, trust me, if you don't want to follow this advice, if you think that you just wasted, I don't know, what's 10 minutes of your time watching this video, so be it. But trust me, if you apply those two things, if those two things become your rules of thumb when you're angry, you'll thank me later many times. So many times. Because anger and just emotionality, uncontrolled emotionality overall is one of the worst things that you can have as a guy, I believe. You can argue with me in the comments, feel free. And obviously everyone is different, but I've noticed this tendency inside of myself that I have two biggest emotions that make me do just overall bullshit in life. And those two are anxiety and anger. And when they do come together, it's like a death combo. And it's one of the worst things that can happen to me personally. And I'm sure that for a lot of you as well. But of course, maybe you have different set of emotions that impact you really badly, a set of anger. If so, then I just want you to have a conversation with yourself about, like, list out the emotions that you have, mostly like emotions that make your life worse, emotions that make your life better, emotions that are neutral, and just try to break down every single one of them by the difficulty of controlling them. And then after you've done that, try to make up some rules for you when you notice in yourself that you're feeling those emotions. Like I told you about anger, to not talk to people if you can, isolate yourself, and to not make any decisions. Try to come up with the rules of thumb for every emotion that you mark as important or as dangerous. And yeah, just basically stick to those things. Preferably you need to have some physical actions, I think, because if you can just turn off your phone and just go to another room, you can do that, you control it. So try to come up with those kinds of things that you can do straight away and just wait for this emotion to fade off. So there's a lot to talk about on this topic, and I'm probably going to make a bigger video about all of those, emotion controlling things in the future, because earlier, again, when I was like, I don't know, 15, 16 years old, I used to be very impulsive and I wasn't really good. I wouldn't say that I was bad at controlling my emotions, but I was bad at controlling my anger, especially. And I was bad at controlling my mind and what it's thinking about stuff when I'm emotional, basically. I, a lot of the times, just thought that everything that is inside of my mind is the truth, but obviously it's not. And if you'd like to see a broader video on this topic, and if you'd like to see my thoughts on everything that topic related, then let me know down in the comments. And yeah, I hope you found this video valuable, and if so, then make sure to leave a like, subscribe to this channel, and I'll see you in the next one, guys. Take care.